Hello, in this episode I'm going to show you the typical way that we define IPMI devices inside of a node. The IPMI interface is a separate interface on the node that allows you to do remote power and remote console. And so when you first start defining these things, I'm going to show you probably the best practice and some common mistakes that I've seen. So one of the things that we normally do is we have our nodes here. And now we want to add our IPMI devices, and so this is done. You can either do a tat edit IPMI to put them in there. One of the normal things that we'll do is we'll just add them all to an IPMI class, and then the BMC will actually just be the node, and then the dash Z here means just get the last point of it, and then just add IPMI to the end, and that will set it up for you. And usually you put your BMC user ID and password inside of in the password table. Sometimes we'll put it in here just if it's different for a particular node, but I tend to just leave that blank, and then you can just put it inside the password table. Now if you do node-ls in32 IPMI, then you see that the corresponding node that the IP addresses that we're looking for is node 32 IPMI. And what I see a lot of people do is now they'll say, well, I have my node list, so let's define my IPMI devices. And I've already started doing this in my hosts, so they'll do they'll just do node add one in 32 IPMI to in32 IPMI, and the groups will be demo IPMI. So here's where I will add it, and it goes in, and then I have my demo IPMI group in there. What I don't like about this is now that I do node-ls, I'll see that I'll have all of my nodes defined here. And as you see, I have all these IPMI devices in here, which isn't really good form. But on the other hand, I needed those to do my host file, because now if I do a make host, then because I've added them in there, I have a nice etc host that has all of my IPMI devices in there. So what I like to do is I like to actually get rid of the IPMI groups. So if I look at my host table, if I remove this group, so node remove demo-IPMI, now you see that I'll have just my nodes again. But we want those in there so we can define their interfaces and keep track of them. And so what we do is we edit the host table again. And so now what we do is we're going to get rid of this bottom one, and instead go over here under other interfaces table. And the other interfaces allows us to define multiple interfaces, but right now we're just going to find another one called IPMI. This is done very simple. It's very similar to the bottom. You take first we start with the n, then we capture the numbers, which will be 01 or 32, and now we're going to substitute it with the node name and a colon IP address. So in this case, the node's really just going to have the same name, right? So it's just going to be the same name dash IPMI, but now we need to give it the IP address, which is 10.24.5. And now it's just this line below it here. 1. And that shows us a nice substitution method to get the IPMI device without actually adding it to our list. So now, if I take a look at my etc hosts, let's just delete all these guys. And now we start over again. Now let's do a make hosts. And let's take a look. Now, you see you have the IPMI device set up there, and it put it in the nice order, and you no longer have it inside of your node list. So that makes it very clean, and it uses that other interfaces aspect of xCAT so that you can see it quite clearly. And so now you should be able to ping your IPMI devices, and you should be able to do your power commands to them, provided they were set up. But hopefully this helps you with getting your IPMI devices set up and makes it so that your node list looks less cluttered. Thank you.